Hello guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be doing the second least favorite dungeon, Drak'tharon Keep. First one being Oculus. So I feel like this is one of the last ones in my series. I'm not sure how many dungeons I haven't done yet, besides say like the Nexus or maybe Violet Hold. But even then I feel like those are kind of self-explanatory, decently easy dungeons. Nothing really, like no new ground to cover there. So instead I figure we'll just do this one. Knock it out real quick, show y'all how it's done, and get going. Now, in this dungeon, it's always great to have a shaman, because they can do the tremor totem on the dinosaur boss. The dinosaur has a fear, the tremor totem will take care of it, and you won't have any problems. But we don't have one today, so we're just gonna run with what we got. I don't think I have game sounds turned. That's fine, that's fine. We don't need them. Pull this pack. You can just keep them coming, they'll be fine. Intercept over this guy. I realize I don't have my shout buff up yet, but we'll get around to that in a second. It's alright, it's not really like a big thing. Target him because we lost threat, but even then we didn't need to target him because he's gonna die very, very quickly. Watch out for the black spots that pop up, they do decent amount of damage if you don't have good gear. Bench him, pop him with some Sunders, get some Revenge, and even if you're not UA spec, you definitely want to make sure you are casting Revenge like as frequently as possible. That's easily your highest damaging ability, by far. Like, it's not even a debate. Pop Berserker Rage over here. Get all these guys nice and grouped up, go ahead and Shockwave them, just to make sure they're not doing anything. It's always great mitigation to make sure you try and CC as many ads as you can. Because if they're not doing anything, that means you can pull them faster and faster and faster and keep going. Less damage to you, that means the healer has more mana. Everybody's good. Group all these boys up. Nice and tight. Pop a last stand. Shockwave them. And then pop in. This is also a good pull to Shield Wall, just because it's a 5-minute cooldown, so that helps too. If you're going to use it, I recommend using it when you start the pull. That way you don't lose that much health. See, like now I'm gonna go ahead and Shield Wall. And then at this point you could have Last Stand as well, and that would have been fine. Last Stand is a big cooldown. Make sure my shout buff is refreshed. Healer's got half mana. Always check the healer mana and positioning. Onto the boss. Turn him around. This is good enough. Not perfect, but good enough. He's going to explode those corpses. That's going to do a bit of damage to the DPS, but that's kind of on them to move away from. You really don't want to be dragging the boss around at all. The more you move the boss, the less DPS your DPS can actually do. So you really want to avoid that. Oh, I got an achievement. Okay, I guess I haven't gotten that before. I don't have. Demo shout them, charge in, taunt that one since it got away. DPS got a little happy, a little too excited. Notice I haven't put Vigilance on anyone yet. So who you want to do that on is going to be kind of a toss-up in this situation, because all three of these guys have good DPS burst. Arms Warrior obviously has Blade Storm. If they do that right on the pool, while you're still grouping up the mobs, then you'll be losing aggro to him, and his threat would be beneficial. But then same goes for Death and Decay for the Death Knights. So I'm going to go ahead and pop it on Earl of Night. This boss is fairly straightforward. One person goes up there. You really only need one to handle that. And then the rest of us focus on burning down these mobs on the sides as quickly as possible. Not sure who's going to run up and take it, but looks like Keandra. Oh. Alright, looks like it's gonna be me. Good thing is the tanks always volunteer for jobs. I should be over there, but these guys have really good gear, so they should be enough to burst them down. Yeah, they can burst those guys down just fine. It's really not super necessary to have a tank on them. It helps, don't get me wrong. But it's not like it's required. These guys last maybe 5 seconds. Yeah. What happens if I run through there? Oh, 1 second. Ew. That's not even a lot of damage. There's really not much to say about this. There's really not much you can do to make this fight faster. Obviously, interrupt his casts. Lock them down. They are susceptible to shockwave and concussive blow, so you can do those. Just CC him and nuke them before they can really do anything. But none of the mobs here are a threat. The only thing I would say to keep an eye on would be make sure that these guys aren't over flooding the place. Then he spawns, nice and cool. Shockwave the group. I had no rage, so there's a point I can give you. Make sure you're not spending all of your rage on those little ads. You can simply just taunt them, interrupt them, and make sure that they have that you have plenty of rage for when the boss spawns. You can go straight into Heroic Strike and Shield Slam. And then smash them with your normal rotation. Not sure why my audio isn't playing. A little weird though. Group them all up. Shockwave. And don't worry about the little bats. They should be AoE'd down very quickly, just like that. You just keep it moving. Ideally, I should have started leaving like maybe a second before I actually did. You really want to be on to the next pack by the time the full pack is dead. These guys, you just keep going. Keep going. Taunt him, pull him back in. That didn't work. Snared, break the snare with human ratio. If you're not a human, then good luck. Intercept, I had charge up, but intercept works fine too. Now the ratio is only every 2 minutes, so I can't do anything about this one. Oh no, I do not want bad clan. Alright, this is the boss where it's always beneficial to have a shaman. Okay, he decided to go ahead and pull it, so whatever, it's no big deal. Group them all up, do your thing. He doesn't really have any dangerous attacks per se, it's just the fear can cause you to body pull other mobs, and while the ads aren't dangerous in themselves, the only problem would be obviously getting overrun with ads. So if you're not cleaving the ads down, then you can get a lot that might end up being too much to handle, but it would honestly probably take a lot of ads to do that. But taunt him in, come here. Hit him with a nice little revenge. You can break that with Berserker Rage. I tried to use my racial first because I like holding on to Berserker Rage. Probably should be the other way around, but you know what, I make my choices. Incisor fragment. Damn, I'm winning these greed rolls. Keep moving, keep moving. That's the thing I want to drill into your heads the most as a tank. Is keep moving, keep it going. You can easily chain pull all these guys, but they do have a fear. So we're gonna hold these guys down first. Make sure the healer catches up. Build up some rage. Charge in. We don't have to pull these guys either. We could have easily just walked along the wall. But honestly, what's the fun in that, you know? We're not so sweaty that we need to do the absolute optimal fucking MLG pro strat every time. Plus, on the right side, you can always get some good BOEs out of it. Pop. This one we will run along the side. We're gonna shockwave while we wait for the group to catch up. That way we're not taking excessive damage. Keep moving. Ah, they hit me with hamstring. Damn, those mobs have good timing with that. Yep, run ahead of me, so I can keep going, keep going, keep going. There's no point in intercepting, you too close. I was gonna show an example of like, let the people run ahead of you, that way you can easily just intercept and you'll be perfectly fine. Not be a problem. There's the fear. It's good he died before we even had a chance to cast it. Oh nice, and they got interrupted too. And charge to the next pack. I I really wanted to get to the next pack and cast Revenge before it expired, but yeah, that's fine. Don't sweat the little things. He used that. Yep, he used that, so I'll go ahead and use Commanding Shout, just give us more health. Always check to see which one your other warrior casts first, because you don't want to overlap his, and he's going to spend the next few minutes thinking he was the one that cast that. Stop and check the healer. Healer's good. Let's go. If the healer doesn't stop to drink in the first like 1 or 2 seconds, then you're good to just go ahead and pull the boss, or the next pack, or whatever you're waiting for. It really shouldn't take them that long to sit down and start drinking. And if it does, then politely ask them to, hey, you know, next time, could you probably do that a little faster? We're trying to get this going. Come here. Now when you put the bone armor and taunt, and then like 1-1-4. If it goes on the gargoyle, just leave it. It's like, as long as it's one of the pets. It can go on the pet, no problem. Just don't let it get on the other players. After all, it is your job to tank it. Alright, there we go, real quick. Oh, that would have been nice on my shaman. Yeah, that's gonna keep done in like easy, what, 10 minutes? Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what else you guys want to see. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good one. See ya.